this chair class. Keep in mind that if something doesn't suit us, that we back off to the level that was right before that, or we modify to something that we already know. So if we are doing a plank off of the chair and we don't like that, then we would do a plank off of the floor. I'm not saying we're going to do that, but maybe we will. Let's inhale, sweep those arms all the way up to the top. Let's exhale, take it out. Let's inhale and exhale. We're going to inhale all the way to the top. We're going to bring our palms together. We're going to exhale to chair pose, hands to heart center. And then we're going to inhale, we're reaching tall. Exhaling, chair. We want to make sure that our knees are soft and that they're not squeezing together at the bottom of the chair. We want both legs to be doing equal work. And then as we feel ourselves warming up, if that chair is behind us, we can reach the thighs to the chair and up. I can just hear all of your knees and other joints cracking right here. Let's take one more inhale all the way up, and then let's exhale our arms out. We want to move the chair somewhere onto our mat so that it is secure, all four legs on the mat, so it doesn't slide around. And we're going to take ourselves to a seated position, scooching forward so that we're not leaning against the back. Our hands are going to come down to our thighs. We're going to roll the shoulders back, tilt the tailbone back so that we are in a seated mountain pose. We're breathing here. Inhales that expand the belly. Exhales that contract. Keep breathing. All right, we're going to move into a little bit of coordination work to warm up the brain. So we're going to bring one arm down beside us, the other arm down beside us. We're going to lift our arm up and the opposite heel is going to lift. Then we're going to switch. And then it's up to us how warm we want those shoulders to get. We can lift that arm higher. And then the toes that are on the mat, they're in yogi toes, so we want space between each toe. And then as we are lifting that foot, make sure the knees are tracking forward and not falling open. Simple little warm-up. There are fun things in store, you guys. We're still breathing. We're going to do each side one more time. This is good for brain-body coordination. And then we're going to bring it down to the side. And then this next time, we're going to, both feet are flat on the floor, so if we lift the knee straight up, we want that ankle to stay flexed. So we're going to start with opposite side. So we're going to lift that foot up as the arm comes up and then down. We don't want to lean into this just to lift the leg up. We want the muscles in the belly and the quads doing some work. The hip flexor, which is the muscle that connects both of those. And again, we are lifting straight up. We don't want that knee to flare open. If we're breathing properly, we should be feeling some of these muscles warming up in our abs. All right, let's finish the next side and then bring it down. So now we really have to work on core and posture at the same time. So we're gonna roll the shoulders down and back. We're gonna bring the palms forward. We're gonna flex the ankles so just the heels are off of the mat. So this should warm up, not the heels, sorry guys, the toes and the balls of our feet. We want the shin to start burning, and we're seated tall. Inhaling, big as usual. Exhale, contracts. The harder we flex the ankles, the more heat we feel in the shins. And then we have to try not to cheat here, and that is rolling the knees open. We want the knees to stay close. We want the toes to be pulling up towards our knees. Breathing. Let's lift one of those legs, and we want it to be slightly higher than the other knee, and we want to avoid rounding our spine here as we extend that leg forward and up. And then we bring it back down. We're going to keep the ankles flexed and the toes off the floor. Breathing. We're going to lift the other knee up. We're going to take that extension out without rounding. We want to stay tall, and then bringing it down. We're going to lift the other side up again. We're feeling some heat, and we should. Tall posture. This knee is going to stay lifted slightly above the other one as we take the extension out. And release. Picking the other leg up, core tight. Let's take that extension. Hold. This is slightly above the other one. And then down. Keeping those ankles flexed. We're going to bring our hands back and holding onto some part of the chair. We're going to lift both legs off of the floor. Our arms are involved. Taking an inhale. Now we exhale, lift. Just this tiny motion. This should be on fire right here. Keep moving. If we're exhaling and contracting, the abs are helping to lift. The knees don't flare open. If you have crazy balance, crazy abdominals, try to lift the feet up without holding onto the chair. I know that all of our brains love these different warm-ups. Let's do one more. And then let's finally let our feet relax. We're going to bring our hands to our thighs and inhale tall. We're going to exhale, just lean forward, just to stretch the hips and back, elbows out. We're breathing. Imagine you have a yoga teacher over your shoulder, not letting you go like this. We have a tall spine, shoulders back. We're going to roll it up. We're going to bring one of our feet across so that we are in a seated pigeon. We're going to use this to finish warming up the hips and back. We're inhaling tall. We want to lean forward just a little bit so we feel that hip and glute stretching. And it is up to us how low we go in this stretch. As long as we can keep a straight spine, we can take it as low as we want. We're breathing. Let's inhale. We're going to switch sides. Bringing that foot across. Let's remember that we're keeping the knee and the ankle lined up with both shoulders. We're inhaling tall. Exhaling, hinging from the hips, straight back. Up to us how low we go as long as this slumping is not happening. All right, you guys, let's bring it up. We're gonna roll ourselves up to a standing position, and we're gonna bring the chair around to the front of our mats. Sometimes it's going to be the front, sometimes it is going to be the back. All right, so we're going to stand with our feet between the chair legs. Hopefully you have a normal size chair and your chair is not really wide. Let's take an inhale, bring it all the way up. We're going to swan dive till we can bring our hands to the seat of the chair. We're going to step back a little bit so that we can press the hips back over the knees and ankles. We're breathing. We're inhaling. We're going to lift the chest and tailbone up for a standing or an elevated cat-cow. And then exhale. We press the shoulders up. We tuck the belly tight. We inhale. Bring it forward. Exhaling. Back and forth we go. Let's make sure, as usual, we're breathing loud enough and deep enough that if we were in a class, our neighbor would hear us. Let's take it into cat pose, rounding and holding. And then when we are ready, we're gonna head into a leg series here, you guys. Pretend I'm there yelling at you and you're not allowed to put that leg down until we're told we can put it down. We're gonna take one of our legs, it doesn't matter. We're gonna take the big toe back. We're gonna make sure our belly is tight. We're pressing away from the seat of the chair. We're gonna flex the toes off the floor. Now this leg is up, it's gonna stay up. The supported leg is gonna have a tiny micro bend so that we can build some fire up there. We're gonna lift the back leg up a little bit higher, and then we're just gonna rotate the toes out. So the hip rotates, then we rotate the toes down. Just this tiny little movement, I'm sure you guys are all loving already. We want to make sure that both arms stay up, that we're not leaning into one side. How are you guys doing? That back foot is flexed. We know that we want more muscles engaged. Let's do one more. And then we're going to turn the toes down. And we're going to draw that knee into the chair seat with the other knee. And then we're going to take this extension back out. Both knees draw in. We're going to get onto the tippy toes of the opposite foot. Hang in there, you guys. Some big muscle groups getting hot. All right, let's do one more. Draw it in. Extend out. Now we're going to bend both knees in a little bit and lift the heel of the standing leg up so that we're just on the balls of our feet. We're going to take the other foot and tap and then swing that foot around. So this is just to make our brain kind of forget about the burning muscle of the supportive leg. If you need this to be harder, you bend the leg deeper. If you need this to be easier, you don't need it to be easier. You just want it to be easier. Keep breathing. We're pressing away from the chair. The deeper the bend on that standing leg, the more heat we're going to feel. That heel is up. All right, you guys. Step it back and stretch. Whew. We got to get these big muscles moving. Stepping back in, we have a whole other side to go. We're going to step the other leg back, a big toe onto the mat. Remember, you guys, we're pressing away from the chair. We're going to flex the foot up and lift it high. The supported leg gets a tiny micro bend. And now we start turning that hip out and down. So that back foot is flexed, the toes go out and down. Let's try to keep both arms straight. If we find an elbow bending, then we're cheating a little bit. We're still breathing. Couple more rotations of our hip. All right, one more out, one more down, and then we're gonna start drawing both knees in. That bottom heel will lift, press back. In and back. We're just taking some of our yoga poses and using the chair to support us so that we get a little bit deeper into those poses. We're still breathing, right? Hang in there. We want to embrace that burn that we're feeling. That heat, that's good stuff. All right, let's hold this next one in. There's a deep bend in the supportive leg. And now we're gonna take toe tap. The deeper the bend, the more muscle we have working in the supportive leg. We're breathing, belly tight. Let's try not to dump into our hands. Our hands are working, pressing away from the chair. If we're feeling really strong, lift that heel high. Shaky legs are good legs. We know the muscles are working. All right, you guys, hang in there. Just a few more. All right, step it back and stretch. Let's lift our fingers to the chair and lift the wrists up just to stretch them from the work. Then let's start to sway side to side so that the shoulders and the hips get some movement. And then we're slowly rolling the spine up. And we're getting ready for some movement in the shoulders. So what we want to do is have the chair in a position so that the seat is facing the rest of the mat. And we are going to back the heels up on either side of the chair legs, and we're going to sit down wide so that our heels are on either side of the chair legs. Let's inhale, sweep our arms all the way up. And then let's swan dive. Take our body between the knees. And then we're going to walk ourselves out to a wide leg downward dog. We're breathing. Let's inhale forward to plank. Try to get the fingertips or the chin past the fingertips. And then we exhale, plank it back. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Let's keep moving. At the top of the plank, let's squeeze the glutes tight and then pike it back. Keep breathing, you guys. Remember, modifying if we need, not if we want. And let's go forward one more time. And then back, pike it back. We're going to walk the hands back so we are seated on the chair. We're breathing. We're going to get ready to move through some modified sun salutations. So, if we use chairs for some of those and we don't want it or if we don't need it, just don't use the chair for them. So we're taking a deep breath, you guys. Let's inhale, sweep up. Let's swan dive, hands between the knees. Let's walk those feet back a little bit and then walk out to downward dog. Let's inhale forward to plank. We're going to exhale to a crocodile. Feet flip under, wide leg, up dog, shoulders back. Downward dog. Breathe. Let's take the right leg up into the air. And then just bringing the tippy toes to the seat of the chair. Breathing. Inhaling forward to plank. We're going to take a crocodile. Upward dog. Deep back bend here. That knee is off the ground. Downward dog. Set that foot back on the ground. Breathe. Let's take the left leg up. I can hear you guys. Let's bring those toes to the seat of the chair. Let's inhale forward. Take a crocodile. Upward dog. Back bending. This is encouraging a deep back bend. Toes under. Downward dog. Bring that foot down. Let's take tiny little steps forward to the back of our wrists. Let's slide up to that supported monkey. Let's take a moment to breathe here. Let's make sure we're not locking our knees. Let's exhale, release, forward fold. Let's inhale. Let's find chair pose. Back bending. And swan dive. Inhaling to supported monkey. Breathe. It's good for our brain to be challenged a little bit, you guys. Exhaling, release. Let's take those tiny little steps back on either side of the chair legs. Breathe. Let's take the right leg up. We can keep both legs on the outside of the chair for these wide crocodiles if we want, or we can bring those toes back to the seat of the chair. Inhale forward, crocodile, upward dog, deep back bend, shoulders back, chest up, downward dog, switching legs, left up, or bringing it to the seat of the chair. Inhaling forward, crocodile, upward dog. You guys got this. Downward dog. Tiny little steps forward. Monkey. Catching our breath. Release. Let's inhale. Let's take our chair pose. Back bending. Good. Swan diving. Inhale, supported monkey. Breathe. Let's release the forward fold, and then let's inhale, come all the way back up. All right, you guys, we're gonna need our chair to move through some power poses. So, however we find it most comfortable to have the chair on the mat. We want to make sure that as we move through these poses that we're picking what's best for our body. Not what we want, not what feels easiest, but what is best. What grows our muscles? What makes us stronger? We're seated forward. We're gonna take one of our knees open and the other one stays right here so that it's in this 90-degree position. Now what we wanna do is scooch towards the edge of the chair, and we're gonna turn our torso towards the front of the mat. Breathing. If we have hip issues, this might be the place we need to stay. If we need to work on strength and mobility, we're going to take this knee here and stretch it back so that it's in a lunge leg. So this will force our whole body to turn. So my one glute is still in the chair. The other leg is pushing tall. Let's inhale. So this is a seated high lunge. Maybe we need to work on this stretch here and we should stay. Maybe we're working on strength and we're burning some stress out of our body. We want to just lift the glute off of the seat of the chair. We're breathing. Get that back knee strong. We're reaching tall. It's a great day to be alive, you guys. Hang in there. Good. Let's bring it down. We're going to switch right to the other side. We have this 90-degree leg first. We're checking in with our hips. How do they feel? Maybe we need to stay here. We're going to start to turn our torso towards this other foot. If we're staying here, great. Otherwise, we can take that leg back into the lunge. We're going to try to straighten it, bringing our arms up. We're breathing. We can stay here in the supported lunge if we need, or we can strengthen up, get the back knee strong. The front knee is forward. We're breathing. Hang in there, you guys. Make sure our toes are loose on the mat. Slowly, we're bringing it down. We're going to slide to the other side. Breathing. We want the front knee to back up a little bit, and then we're taking this back leg into a warrior two. So this is an open hip. If we need to stay on the chair and work on the mobility of the pose, we can stay here. Let's lift those arms up. Shoulders down. We're taking our gaze out over the front arm. If we're working on strength today, let's make sure this knee is over the ankle, and we're going to lift. Warrior two. Breathing. Shoulders down. It's a power pose. We should feel heat really fast. Hang out here, you guys. Don't let the toes squeeze the mat. And then we're slowly bringing it down. But right here, we're going to bring our elbow to the knee and reach up and over. We're going to rotate the pinky side down here gently. We're pulling that top shoulder back. Bringing it back. We're going to be going to the other side. So we're scooching the knee back. We want to press this leg into a warrior two leg. Arms up, shoulders down. Open hips here. We're breathing. If we know that we need to work here, we're going to stay here. Really engage the arms to stretch out, dynamic stretching. If we're working on power, we lift. Shifting that front knee forward. We're breathing. Taking our gaze out over that hand. Toes are loose on the mat. Then we slowly settle the hips down, and we bring that knee or that elbow down to our knee, reaching up and over. A soft turn for the pinky side to come down. We pull the shoulder back, really stretching, lengthening the body. And then we're going to bring it back to the center. We're going to move back to the other side to work on our reverse warrior. So we want to have that warrior two leg, and we want this to feel a little bit comfortable. So we're taking the arms out, shoulders, pretend both butt cheeks, both shoulder blades are on a wall. We're breathing. We're going to bring the back arm behind us to hold on to the chair. Doesn't matter if it's up or down, as long as we're holding on to it. We're going to flip the front palm up, and we're going to reach and come into our reverse warrior. And reverse warrior is not this way back pose. It is a grow tall and extend. We're breathing here. Let's reach a little taller through the arms so our elbow doesn't stay bent. We want to grow tall through the rib cage. Breathing. and then coming down. We're gonna switch to the other side, taking that warrior two leg. We're breathing, arms out, both butt cheeks, both shoulders are on a wall. Scooping the back arm behind us to the chair. We're flipping the palms up here in the front, and then we're gonna reach tall first, and then come into our extension. Breathing, the back leg is strong. Inhaling taller, exhale, breathe. Coming out, we're coming back to the chair. Chair is probably able to stay where it is on your mat. I'm gonna move around a little bit. All right, we're gonna scooch out to the edge of the seat, and we wanna feel the butt bones drop right over the edge. So the edge of the seat will be between the sit bones and the tailbone. We're gonna be working the abs a little bit here. So we're reaching back. We're gonna lean back, straight spine, shoulders on the back seat of the chair, but we don't want to round and slump here. So we're holding on anywhere we want. We're gonna flex the toes off the floor, the balls of the feet off the floor. We're back into the shins getting really hot. Taking a deep breath. We're gonna draw both knees up. If, let's say we have any conditions out there where we have had hip issues or maybe we're pregnant, let's just lift one leg at a time. We don't need to strain muscles that don't need to be strained right now. If we don't have any existing conditions that would, cause panic here, let's draw both knees up, breathe, breathe. Now let's release, arms out. We're gonna settle in here because it is uncomfortable. We're gonna breathe. We're gonna squeeze the knees towards each other. I know some of you already put your feet back on the floor. Lift them up. Breathe. 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 And take a break. Breathing. It's going to get better and better, you guys. We are going to flare up some hip flexors here in a moment. Let's go ahead and draw both knees back up. Breathe. We're going to open the knees just a little bit, arms out. We're going to take an exhale, tap both ankles. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. We're taking butterfly pose, and we're making it real special. I know you're inhaling on the upward, exhaling on the close. Let's do two more. You know that some of you I want to call out by name. Exhale. I know you love this. And release. Breathe. Just sway the knees side to side. All right, we have one more really special one here. Taking a deep breath, let's draw the knees up, and then we're here. We're gonna take and straighten one leg, straighten the other. Tap the shin, keep going. Come on, you guys. Come on. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And good. Scooch back the seat. Come up to a tall spine. Breathing. Elbows out. Let's take a breath. And then exhale, lean forward. Inhale. Bring it back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. If you guys hung through that, good job. If you took a break and got right back in, good job. If you're sitting there sipping wine, we're going to have a chat. All right, you guys, take a deep breath, draw those shoulders back. All right, so we want to make sure that our chair is in a position to hold our feet when we go to the floor. So we're going to come right in front of the chair seat. Let's inhale, sweep up. Let's exhale, bring our hands to the seat of the chair. And we're gonna lower to a toe stand, but our knees are wide and our heels should be touching here so that the arches of our feet are almost straight up and down. We have the seat of the chair for support here if we need it. We're gonna inhale, lift the chest up, shoulders back and down. We want the ankles to burn. We want the arches of our feet to burn. They're muscles, they have to get stronger. Breathe. We can keep both hands on the chair, one hand on the chair, or we can extend an arm up. We can switch every few breaths, or we can practice toe stand, reaching tall through the fingertips, but dropping some of our body weight down into the feet so that they are working harder. Finding a focus point. Breathing. My focus point is my Kenny Rogers vinyl album in front of me. He was so cute. Let's bring our hands to heart center if our hands are balancing. Many of you just learned that I'm a Kenny Rogers fan. Let's bring our hands to the seat. Let's breathe. Let's take our legs to a straight position, knees forward, drop. Let the toes stretch, wiggle them around. We're not done with that pose yet. Let's turn the feet out. Let's lift all 10 toes up and put them on the mat in yogi toes so that there's space. Let's lift the heels up and come back down to that toe stand, that wide kneed toe stand. Find your Kenny Rogers focus point. Roll our shoulders, roll back. And this practice, we can keep the fingertips on the seat. We can take the arms up. We can take the arms in front of us, or we're going to practice reverse namaste here. So we bring our arms behind us. We scoop the fingers back till they're touching each other, and then we push our palms together, shoulders roll back. Our feet should be on fire. Breathing, breathing. How you guys doing? I know you love the arches of your feet burning. The ankles, the shins, it's good stuff. Bringing our hands back to the seat of the chair. We're going to reach back and slowly roll to a seated position. Just when you thought all the fun was over, we're going to stretch the toes out. So just lift the toes up. Stretch them out in yogi toes, so space between each toe, and then squeeze the toes. Toes, all 10 toes create space. Squeeze the toes. All right, you guys, a little more ab work coming here. It's gonna be your favorite class yet. We're gonna reach our fingertips back and tuck them behind our bottom. We do not want our hands flaring out or turned around. This is for wrist safety. We're gonna bend the elbows straight back and lean. We're going to lift the feet off the floor. Just going to push the toes under the seat a little bit and then out on the sides. Under the seat and on the sides. If you are using a couch right now, just keep your toes in front. Go out to a wide V. Breathe. Breathing. One more in, one more out. Pause, 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 and then release. We're going to scooch in so that when we roll back, our feet can come up to the seat of the chair. You guys are doing a great job. I just know it. We're going to pull one leg in and point and flex the foot. Then, if we can, we're going to flex the foot and straighten the leg. We're going to walk the hands up to the thigh, or to the calf muscle. And then we're going to point and flex the foot again. So the other leg can just be comfortable, whatever feels best. The straighter we have the leg here, the more intense it's going to feel as we're pointing and flexing. And then we want to bend the knee a little bit and reach up for that flexed foot and the knee. And every exhale can pull that bent leg towards our body. It's up to us how deep we take this pose. In fact, I know there's a couple crazies out there that like to put their foot in their elbow and they can pull that leg in. We want to make sure we stay centered here and the foot that's on the chair is not pushing in to the chair. Slowly, let's release that foot to the chair. Wherever it's comfortable, we're going to pull in on the other leg and point and flex. And now let's try to flex the ankle and straighten that leg, reaching up for a higher grasp, and then letting the other leg relax. Once we have this leg straight, we can point and flex. We want to feel this intensity in the back of our legs. And then when we're ready, bending the knee, we're reaching down for the flexed foot and we're pulling that bent leg in. It's our choice how deep we take this. We absolutely don't want to be pushing past the point of stretch. If you're feeling extra flexy and you want to put that flexed foot in your elbow, you may do so. But the shoulders need to relax, the head needs to relax, and the foot that's on the chair has to be relaxed. And then let's slowly release. Breathing just for a moment. Let's bring our hands on to our belly. Let's inhale. And as we inhale, our belly is expanding and pushing up. And then exhaling, it's contracting and lowering. And our hands are moving with that. I know some of you are thinking, she advertised chair yoga. This should have been easy. Chairs are meant for all types of torture. Let's slowly start to pull in and reach for the ankles or the outsides of our feet, letting the knees fall open, letting the inner thighs stretch. From this position, we go into our good old dead bug, and we're breathing. We want the knees to fall down, the ankles are over the knees, the shoulders are relaxing, and we are breathing. Let's hug our knees into our chest. Let's rock side to side. And then when we're ready, let's make sure that the chair is in far enough for us to rest our legs on. But first we have spinal twist. So we're taking our arms out to a T. Let's inhale. Let's exhale our knees to the left first. Dropping all the way towards the floor, checking in that our shoulders feel okay. If they do, we can turn our head to the opposite hand, closing our eyes. We're breathing. Let's expand our breath. Let's contract our breath. Inhaling. Exhaling. Let's bring our head back to the center. Using those abs, draw those knees back in and exhaling to the other side. Checking in with our shoulders. And if we want, we can turn our head towards the opposite hand. Let's breathe in and breathe out, closing our eyes, feeling that breath going into our body. Let's bring our head back to the center, drawing the knees in. We're going to place the heels on the center of the seat and just wave the knees side to side. We're getting ready to head to relaxation, and I know many of us at home stop right here. But it is important to practice the stillness and quiet of our Shavasana. So hang in there, don't quit yet. Let's slide our feet onto the chair. We can have wide feet, we can cross the ankles. Whatever we're doing, we want to make sure the back of our knees are touching the chair. We can bring our arms down beside us, or today we can stack our hands underneath our head. We're going to walk the shoulders away from our ears. We're going to close our eyes and we're going to move our jaw side to side. Bringing our lips back together. Let's inhale together. Let's exhale out, reminding ourselves that as we head into relaxation, that distractions are minimal. The voices we hear, the car door slamming, the kids, the husbands, pets. They're noises we're used to, so we can accept it, we can let it go. Let's breathe in a little bit deeper and exhale. On the next inhale, let's curl the toes, squeeze the fingers, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the shoulder blades. Let's squeeze the lips, the cheeks, the eyebrows, the hairline. Every muscle's creating energy here. Let's inhale deeper, squeeze tighter. And then let's release, melting down towards the floor, letting the legs relax. Inhaling and exhaling. wiggle our fingers and toes. Releasing our hands from behind our head if that's where they are. And we're just drawing our knees towards our chest. Just take a moment to hug ourselves tight here. We're going to roll to one side or the other, and we're going to be pushing ourselves right up to a position behind the chair. So we can come into butterfly, we can open the legs to straddle split on either side of the chair, whatever feels best. We're going to take our arms on to the chair seat. We're going to inhale tall, and then we're going to exhale. Try to lean forward far enough that we can bring our forehead to the seat of the chair for just a few breaths. We're inhaling tall. We're breathing. Let's bring our arms out to the side. And let's inhale, sweep all the way up to the top. Let's exhale our arms out. Inhaling, we're reaching all the way up. Let's take one more breath out. Let's inhale. Let's bring our hands to the very, very top and exhale to heart center. Namaste. All right, you guys, at the end of this, just give some piece of gratitude. Doesn't have to be two. I can see that there's sun interference on the video right now, so I'm going to be grateful that the sun is shining. Now it's your turn to leave some gratitude in the comments.